We're going to end the day, our last interview of the day, on something relatively low-tech but very close to my heart, a pinball machine, and none better to represent it than Gary Stern, the founder, grand poobah, chief president, everything of Stern Pinball. Gary, thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me. I'm pleased.
Now, tell me about this pinball machine. This is actually a pretty special pinball machine. This is one of the first of this type of pinball machine that are coming from Stern Pinball.
We're manufacturers of commercial pinball machines, and we make 3 or 4 different models a year. We make them in different levels of complexity, and we export half of them. We ship them all over the world for people to play in arcades, for enthusiasts to have in their home, for just people to have in their home, in a rec room. We found that there were a lot of people who wanted games in the rec room, and we decided that we should make a real pinball machine, but at a lower price point. This pinball machine, we call this the Pin. It's our entry-level game. It is designed from the ground up to be a non-coin-op game, but with the same play and the same parts as a coin-op game. So the footprint's a little smaller. It weighs 125 pounds instead of 250 pounds. You can move it around in the house, and yet it is a full-size playfield with the full play features of our commercial games. It has our same flippers, our same pop bumpers, our same slingshots, drop targets, just like our regular commercial games. And it's most important, it's fun.
I think for me also most important is it's almost attainable for me. As I've been talking about and writing about a lot of your pinball releases over the past year. You've gotten some high-profile ones like the Avengers, a lot of Marvel tie-ins, AC/DC. I'm a big fan of the AC/DC pinball machine, but it is priced. If I wanted to go out and buy that machine, it's going to be over $5,000 for me to bring that into my home. It's also going to be a long explanation for my wife. This machine it retails, I believe, for close to, is it $2,500?
Yes, it's a suggested retail of $24.99, but that was the purpose here, was to get something a little bit more attainable to enlarge the pinball community. Very important to us that we do have more people playing pinball. We are an American manufacturer, very proud of that. We make these games in the Chicagoland area. I've been in it 65 years, I'm 67. So it's very important that pinball continues to flourish and grow.
Right. Well, now, I know that there's also been a lot of interest in pinball growing because of apps. I've seen like all the different iPad apps for pinball that are out there. You can play virtual pinball on your iPhone. Has that been something that's helped maybe bring a resurgence of interest to the pinball world?
I think it has helped bring the resurgence, and there has been a resurgence. In fact, our commercial sales in 2012 were 30% higher than they were in 2011, and all over the world is a resurgence. I believe that the different apps are helpful. We actually participate and license some of our titles to Farsight, which is a company that does apps for smartphones and for consoles. One of the games they built for us, Roller Coaster Tycoon, it has been very successful as an app, but the used value of the game has increased. The real game has increased, and all of these games have a value. A lot of them, almost all of them, appreciate over time as you own them. So it's not like buying a television where there's a brand new one a year later that outdates it. They do increase in value.
All right, now I'm getting some direction from our stage director here. She says we've been talking about this pinball machine a lot, but we have not been playing it at all. So would you do me the honor of playing your own pinball machine?
I'd love to. Unfortunately, we don't have any beer here to play for.
That was the other request for this pinball machine, is beer holders on the sides of it. I think if it's really going to have a place in a man cave, it needs to have like a kegerator version.
There are accessories that you can buy on pinball to screw onto the side of them. For you, when you buy your game, I'll make sure that you get a case of beer and some cup holders for it.
Thank you.
Red cups will match this perfectly.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So we have to start the game.
And no coins needed. So I'm looking at this and I realize this is definitely not a toy version of your real games. This is the real game. It's a slightly different play field than I know the full-size Transformers that you've done.
It's a real wood play field, just like the commercial games have. Little different composition of wood, but it's a real wood play field, and it plays great.
You're killing it, Gary. This is great. You're setting the bar too high, though. You're going to get a high score on your own game, which I think is only right. All right. Oh, Gary, don't worry. There's no shame in this. You can play all the pinball you want, right? You've got pinball all. You're going back into the business.
Part of the job at our company is you must play. During part of the design process, everybody has to play for 15 minutes.
I hope our manager hears that. So thank you, Gary, for that, and thank you for joining us here. We're gonna wrap things up. Oh no, I'm sorry. I can't. We can't do two-player or after the camera's played out. Yes, absolutely. You got it. Thank you for joining us here. For CNET.com, I'm Donald Bell. And for Donald Bell, I'm here at CNET.com.